Dear friends, good morning. I Jaswant Kelasia welcomes you in our YouTube channel Parad Germinates the Democracy. This channel is also having an Hindi version named as Parad Loktantra Ka Ankuran. We also available on Facebook page and Twitter accounts, also in WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is 7646950188. This link is given in the description. By observing our descriptions, you can see all our links. All these social media platforms are official platforms of our newly launched political party, Proportional and Rational Representatives Alliance of Democrats. The abbreviation is PARAD. The nomenclature is just like the political parties AIDMK in Tamil Nadu and AIMIM in Andhra Pradesh are there. The Hindi name of this party is लोकतांत्रिकों का समानुपातिक एवं हेतुक प्रतिनिधि जनसमूह. In Hindi, it is also pronounced as Parad. We consider that our political party is the first and the only political party of India. That means all other political parties are found in India, are part and parcel of the ruling class of India. We have prepared a very comprehensive vision document of our party. Our party's vision document is purely scientific in nature with elementary principles of public representation, democracy and political science. Hence, through this channel, we are presenting the contents of some important chapters of this vision document by reading directly to the contents. In this episode, we are presenting the first part of our chapter 6 of the vision document. The title of this chapter 6 is A Brief History of Foundation Stone of Established of Democracy in Modern India. I repeat this title of the chapter, A Brief History of Foundation Stone of Establishment of Democracy in Modern India. As for the context of the views, those have been described in previous chapters, we ought to accept the fact that leaving of British from as far the contents of the views, those have been described in previous chapters. All these chapters, by clicking I button, you can observe our previous episodes regarding the history of the democracy of the world and India also. We ought to accept that the fact that after leaving of Britishers from India, whichever the system of democracy adopted by India, for this the fundamental stone was laid down in 1935 in the form of Government of India Act 1935. Actually, this act paved the way for Indian ruling class to re-establish their rule. Though the title of this act was Government of India Act, but if we see minutely, this act made as the feudals, lords, landlords, nawabs, influential elite classes and their kith and kins. We call them as Indian ruling class. Though there were several provisions of participation in optimum proportions for common men, actually for different ethnic groups during the period of British regime, this act was a large and comprehensive one. After excluding provisions made for Burma states, there were 321 sections and 10 appendices in this act. With reference to the contents of this chapter, there are some important peculiarities in this act was as follows. Number 1, under this act, federal system of government was further explained and clarified. Number 2, more autonomy was provided to regional princely states because the regional princely states, ex-kings, feudals, landlords, Nawab were only powerful, active and influential. Hence, in the guise of this more autonomy, they became more influential and powerful in the political activities prevailing in those days. They are all have developed such type of thinking in their minds that if the Britishers leave India, then they leave India in the same political status as that they had occupied rulership of this Indian subcontinent. That means the ex-kings, feudals, Nawab, etc. wanted that the Britishers hand over the political power, that is rulership, to them for their respective regional princely states, Nawabis, but not to the respective of common masses, but not to the representative of common masses. Because of this type of thinking, up to 1935-36, so many organizations and political bodies become very active. Those philosophy, ideology and the objective were to re-establish imperialistic theocratic states in Indian subcontinent. As per the provisions of Government of India Act 1935, under the feudal system of government, maximum number of Central Legislative Assembly was fixed up to 375, and for member of Council of State was fixed as 250. This is a notable thing that the Central Legislative Assembly, there were also provided provisions for representation to both the member of regional princely states, Nawabis, and for member of different groups of societies, communities and ethnic groups in sufficient proportions. Details are as follows. Number 1, heads of regional princely state and Nawabis representative were 125. Number 2, member from different social groups, communities and ethnic groups, total 150 members. They were further divided as under: A, member from general classes, 86 numbers. B, members from scheduled caste, 19. C, member from Sikh community, 6. D, member from Christian community, 8. E, member from European community, 8. F, member from merchants and industrialists, 11. Members from landlords, 7. Members from labor classes, 10. Members female were included as follows: 9. Members from Muslim community, 82. K, members from other left out communities, 4. Total seat was allotted as 250. It is pertinent to mention here that in this act there were representatives of different communities, social groups and ethnic groups were also determined for 11 states assemblies of British India as per their presence in population in these respective states. For these different ethnic groups, the seats were determined as follows. Number 1, member of general classes, 657 seats. Members of scheduled caste, 151. Member of scheduled tribes, 24. Member of Sikh communities, 34. Member of Muslims community, 463. 6. Member belonging to Anglo-Indians, 11. 7. For Europeans, 24 seats. 7. 8. For Indian Christian community, 20. 9. For trade and industrialists, 56. 10. For landlords, 37. 11. Personalities associated to universities, etc., means intellectuals, 8 seats. 12. For laborers, 38 seats. For women, 28 seats. Women from general class, in this class women from scheduled caste tribes were also included. They were further subdivided as follows: women from Sikh community 1, women from Muslim communities 10, women from Christian communities 1, women from Anglo-Indians 1. The total for all 11 state assemblies, there were 1564 seats. In the federal Central Assembly, most of the members were head of the regional princely states. Feudals, Nawabs, landlords and other rich and influential persons and other dignified personalities, so also the voters were also from these same classes sect. But for state assemblies, only 14% of the total population were having the voting power, and yet even amongst from this 14% population, only those persons were having voting powers those were adult, educated and taxpayers to municipal corporation commissions and or were paying vehicle tax. Only those women were having voting powers those were having above qualifications. According to the above legal constitutional provision, these important facts are become clear. A. At that time, the then administrators, politicians, political scientists, sociologists accept that in Indian society different ethnic groups and nationalities are existed. Therefore, to ensure their right to all proportional representation had been determined. B. In Central Assembly, because of the provisions of nomination of ex-kings, feudals, nawabs, landlords and other elite class, basically they belongs to the ruling class, they become very dominant in this Central Assembly. C. Because of limited specific voting rights to a certain group's 14% population, that is only those persons elected as a whole which were similar to ex-kings, feudals, landlords, nawabs and other elite classes. Therefore, in this manner, this Government India Act 1935 was as a tool to establish an Indian ruling class on governance in place of Britishers according to the demand of time. Indian ruling class very superficially and artificially divided themselves into different groups, formed several political parties groups, but in Bennett's they all were one and still today they are all one. Apart from above mentioned facts, some other historical things we have to know also. A. Primarily, in this, according to the principle of political safeguard, strong provisions were made of pupil representation for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. B. Secondly, because of the reasons that since centuries Muslims were the rulers of this country, hence their social, educational, economical and political conditions were so better. Therefore, the number of their nominated and the elected numbers were determined proportionately quite sufficient in both central and state assemblies. In Central Council 82 and in all state assemblies 463 members. The same provisions were also done for 6, means 34 plus 6 is equal to 40 seats. The Anglo-Indians 11 seats, Europeans 8 plus 24 32 seats, Indian Christians 8 plus 28 seats communities. So also among these communities for women 28 plus 1 plus 10 plus 1 plus 1 41 total seats. Separate seats were also determined so that the strong guarantee of separate representations of women of these communities can be ensured. If we study about these provisions from religious communal angle, then we find that member of Hindu community actually Chaturvarnas were remained very less. This is also a notable thing that in those days backward castes, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes were all not considered as Hindus and not included in Hindu fold. Because of all historical development, those ex-kings, princely kings, feudals, landlords, priests class, etc., and top leaders of political party, for example, G.K. Gokhale, M.M. Malviya, J.L. Nehru, M.K. Gandhi, etc., which were having mentality of theocratic states, they in one side criticize and oppose these provisions, that is, they were against the Government of India Act 1935 and refused to adopt them, and in other side the Congress party did not include leaders elected nominated members of the Muslim community in sufficient proportion in the Ministry Council of Ministers of the state assemblies of the country. Because of this, a feeling of negligence and insecurity developed in the mind of the Muslim community. In due course of time, all these provisions were made effectless. Indian politicians read ruling class of India when the Britishers entrapped very badly in Second World War. All these issues, that is, to ensure proportional and proper public representations to every ethnic groups amongst all almost finished. Dear friends, with this we end this episode, means the first part of this chapter. At present, we are not requesting you to subscribe, like and share our this channel, but requesting that kindly view at least 10 to 15 past episodes. Then we believe that definitely you shall be subscribe, like and share our channels, and shall be ready to associate with Parad with missionary zeal. Thanks for being with us and viewing full episode. Again, thanks. Namaskar.